Well, yo, man, well, let's get to it, man. I want to appreciate you pulling up to After Hours, man. And
Yeah.
we're here to celebrate, man. There's a lot of dark moments in 2020, and as we roll into 2021, there's still some dope things happening, man. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with you and your legendary brother, man, go ahead, state your name, gangster.
Yo, my name is Russ Thomas on IG, Russ PG 22. I'm the official brother of Fred The Godson. God on legacy, man. That's what I go by. Yes, sir.
Yo, Russ, man, your brother Fred was one of the nicest to ever touch a microphone and say rhyming words. Loved by everybody, respected by, everybody who knew what time it was. And, in his sudden passing, man, really caught us off guard, but it was also a big exclamation point on how real this COVID situation can be. Can you speak on, how like, that affected your family and, just how real it got for y'all during those times?
Well, when it first happened, it was all a shock. You know, Fred was out there, trying to make his legacy and make his career better. And, all the stuff was going down in New York. And it was kind of catchy because remember, of course, that time, people was like, oh, it's not real, it's real, it's not real. And then, oh, it affect black people, it don't affect black people, so there was talks about it. And when this happened, he was like one of the first ones big in the industry that was really affected by it, and it caught us off guard. Like we never suspected such a thing. And, the hospital situation, I don't want to get too much into that, but, they was not allowing us access back there. We couldn't see anything. And, for it to happen to somebody like that, and somebody who is humble, is a good person like Fred, man, and had a passion for life, love his kids, his family, his wife, it was like, why?
Mm-hmm.
Why him? And then eyebrows started to raise, and it was like, yo, this is a serious situation. This is not something to play with. You can't be out there, just happy go lucky, like life is for granted, man, because it hit hard,
Yeah.
it hit real hard. And at the time, my family and his family, his intermediate family, his wife, we was up on it, making sure that everything would be good for us at the time, because we thought he was getting better. And then, people out there in the industry was rooting for him, like Fab and his man Axel, did the challenge, and it was all over the internet and all over the news and media, and everybody's rooting for him to come out of it. But then boom, just like how y'all got surprised on the internet, we got surprised in real life like that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine, what you guys were going through at the time, especially with everything being so new and like, what you spoke about not being able to go to the hospital and be the support system because, some people pull out of things only pull out because of the people that were along the bedside rooting for them, giving you a will to live, hearing that familiar voice, in the background to be able to walk towards that energy, man. And there's a lot of people who are missing that opportunity because we're all so closed off once you go in those hospital walls.
Word, man. It's like that's a real thing. That is a real thing because there was a time when the doctors had him on FaceTime and, his kids were screaming. Then we seen him move, and it was just that energy of a person next to a bedside. It does work, man. So y'all thinking out there that you being by the bedside doesn't count. It can be the day when that person hears your voice and then their spirit starts to rumble and everything start working again, you
Yeah.
know? Word.
Yo, like I mean, to share a story with you, one of my elders, I guess I could say it's my grandfather, but it was the guy that my grandmother was married to, but it's not my mom's dad. Anyway, so he was in the hospital and and he went in for like a heart surgery. And it's supposed to be just like a, I mean, all heart surgery is serious, but it should have been an in and out situation. But apparently something went wrong. He ended up having to go back to the hospital. They ended up putting him in like a medically induced coma. And we all spent a lot of time like up at the hospital. And it was just one day we was just in the room talking and he's unconscious. And then you just see a tear roll down his eye, like the side of his face,
Wow.
while he's in his coma. So when people think, oh, they in a coma, they can't hear nothing's going on. People, I feel like these people do hear, and they do feel that energy and that, and that support and that love, and they wanna run to it, and just sometimes they just need a little bit more,
Yep, absolutely. And that transpires to what we're going on in the world now. Energy is so important because it can rumble like an algorithm on the internet. Like, it's like one person, if their energy's right, the vibe will transfer to another person, and then you get this big snowball that creates something beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm trying to do with my brother and his legacy. I'm trying to create that energy that he portrayed it each day. He was talking to people, different artists, different producers, and even artists that he worked with that I had no idea how many people he worked with. I had a little idea, but not this much of a broad span. So when I meet somebody for the first time and they hit me in the DM and they hit me in the text, yo, I got a record with your brother, and I see the artist and the name, 9 times out of 10, I'm like, I know, but then the further it got, nah, I ain't know you. And I gotta make sure that my energy is right and my piece is right, because it's still an emotional thing for me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I never really had time to grieve. As soon as he passed away, organically, based on all the history that he's been doing this music, I just had to organically come in and just say, okay, it's time to strap my boots up and make sure that I try my best to keep the torch lit, as you would say, Word.
And one thing about your brother, because I met him briefly at one of these conventions. I don't remember if it was A3C.
It was.
BT about, okay, so A3C. Yeah. And one thing about your brother, man, like, seemed like he was always smiling, always in a good mood, just seemed like just such a jovial dude, despite what the bars say, like as repugnant as the raps be, he just had a light about him that just gravitated people in his direction, man. And I think that's why, like his passing hit so many people the way it did, because, we lost the light. The room got a little bit dimmer, when Fred left.
Yes, man. And that's a fact, man. You know how many artists and producers that felt like that I got calls like, I don't even want to do this music no more. Mm-hmm. They were like, man, I don't even feel it right now, And I seen the hurt, I seen the pain, I seen the motivation, and I try my best to be there for those who know they lost something special, and like, yo, he would want you to do this, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what he did. He motivated artists, when they're in the studio. People don't know. There's artists out there, they say like, yo, Fred is like our Jay-Z, man. I see him coming in, knock stuff out, and then you like, what you mad for? Like, always keep a good vibe. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because, there's a lot of times that my mother used to tell me about him, your brother's special. It's like somebody can walk in a room and 2 minutes, he'll know everything about them. And he'll sense their vibe. And even if they're upset, the most upset person in the room, he'll go directly to them and have them laughing, bro. Oh, God.
Some people just got that gift, like there's a lot of people walking around who antennas are just raised in a different way. Same way that some people could walk into a room and suck all the energy out of it. You ever be in a room and certain people walk in, it's like all of a sudden it's like, yo, it's cold in here. I don't like it anymore. I need to leave. So like it's always dope to be the first person and not the latter, man. And I get that same energy off of you, man. Apparently y'all come from dope stock, bro. Like, Russ, man, like, even through the DMs, I felt the love, you know what I mean? And
thanks,
like,
bro. Thanks, bro.
I'm still in a space in my business, in my career where like when people pay any level of attention, I'm like, word, thank you. I had no idea that we was even on the radar, man. So that
bro, like that's what's crazy, because I've been rocking with you ever since the Ricky Smiley show, ever since the, you know, the beginning, you guys started this nation, and you know, me and my wife are fans, and it's like, yo, Headkrack a real dude. And Fred told me when he was at the AC3, yo, I seen Headkrack, yo, out there, you know what I mean? And I was like, you know what I'm saying? So that made me tell him the first time, I don't know if you remember, but it was a couple years ago when I told you, I was like, yo, the AC3 festival, whatever, Fred's gonna be out there. We're gonna be out there. If we can link, yo, chop it up. You know what I'm saying?
I probably got pulled in 1,000 directions that
Yo,
weekend, man.
yo,
If I had the time machine, bro, I would be, man, you did it right. But you know, that's why, you know, you got to move better, follow up on all calls, and you know, and just make sure all the dots connect the way they're supposed to be. So, you know, we're all from a similar neighborhood. Yeah, I'm from the Bronx. You guys are from the Bronx. Now, whereabouts specifically?
Right there off of 156 and Fox. Off of there, the south side of the Bronx, near the Grand Concourse, that area.
Okay.
Prospect. You know, we from all over. We was originally born in the area of the Grand Concourse, Bronx, Lebanon, that hospital. You know what I'm saying?
Familiar, very familiar.
But we got burnt out, and then we went to the shelters in the Bronx, and off of there, of Hunts Point area, that Hunts Point area, and Fox Street. And then Fred was normally raised up the block off 941 Leggett Ave and Prospect, and that's where we you know, grew up. The pretty much the heart of us growing up and learning our, you know, our talents and gifts. And then, you know, that's when we was around the areas of the Big Puns, the Joes, Trinity Ave, and, you know, the 2 and the 5 train, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That area, Jackson Ave, you know, the whole bang of the Bronx, south side of the Bronx.
Yo, I miss the BX so much, man. So like, you know, you guys growing up, but because you're younger than Fred, right?
Yeah, I'm the second oldest. Fred was the oldest out of 6. You know what I'm saying?
6. So what's the breakdown? So 2 boys, 4 girls, or what?
Yeah, 4 boys, 2 girls. Yeah.
Oh, them girls protected.
Oh man, they want to like to protect us. You know?
Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's pretty much a big family. And one thing about my family, Fred set the tone, man. You know, the crazy thing about it, we used to be 7-day Adventists, bro.
Really?
Yes. And on Fridays, automatic shutdown. My mother shut us down, bro. From 7 o'clock at night. We lived on the first floor, crack. And this is crazy. 7 o'clock come, no TV, nothing. We at the table, straight Book of Revelation is in and out, bro. All the way to church the next day.
So you go to church on Saturday?
Yes. Then get out, church, about 3, 4 o'clock. Everybody still playing, like where y'all at? Friday night, everybody playing. We had a popular building, so all the kids was playing outside in the front of the building playing football. We sitting by the window like, yo, this is crazy. And if you was our friends, because we had a whole lot of friends, and you came to our crib and you in the house, because my mother would cook, the door's locked, you not leaving, bro. You doing Bible study with us.
They trapped in. They do it all. So what is you guys' descent? Like, are y'all?
Yo, like we just you know, we Christian, man. We just, you know, we follow the Lord, and you know, a lot of that is based on my mother. She really pushed the pen with us and us learning the Bible and stuff like that. And the spirituality came from the anchor of my grandmother to my mother. So when this all happened, I knew that my brother, when he was younger, like he had a gift, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it was God-given. And this is why he named himself the Godson, because Fred had asthma. But bro, when he got in the booth,
that asthma was gone.
It was incredible. There's certain stories that when he went to a talent show, the doctor said, don't go. And she said, you're not going to be able to make it. He said, I got to go. This is important. Because he had a lot of labels looking at him at the time. Mm-hmm. So he went and he told the doctor, you should go. And he was like, yo, I couldn't breathe. He said, but once he started rapping, it was like, Yo, that's crazy. And you know what's crazy? What happened that night?
What?
Lenny S pulled him out. Was like, yo, come with me.
Oh, then now we in the loop. The rest is history. I
Yeah.
say it all the time, man. When you're living in your purpose, nothing matters in the moments. You know what I mean? So apparently that's what God wanted him to do, to like be able to take away your biggest ailment, your biggest detriment at the time where you need to be like, the highest version of yourself. And for him to be able to black out. There's been times I've listened to Fred The Godson freestyling like on Sway and, in the car in real time. Like, like, yo, phenomenal. Like, and like on days when like 15 other people rapped and just Fred just made them look like this was like their first weekend,
Man, what's crazy? What's crazy is because he when he started, he was just, ill with his pencils, bro. He used to have these pencils, bro, and just be jotting stuff down. He used to play with pencils like wrestling, like, yo, psh, like when he was a kid, word or something, and be writing. I'm like, what you doing? Yo, get out of here. 13 years old. That's when it started, man. I was like, yo, he started saying stuff. He was like, yo, I think I could do this, man. I was like, wow, man. Like the words, he was putting words together, like, and then it got to a different level, like I'm with the clappers eating cinnamon raisin toast. I cinnamon raisin toast. Like, nice. Come on.
Yo, ahead of his time. So like, what were some of the first bars, aside from what you just kicked, that you remember Fred coming with as he was, figuring it out, putting it together? Because being his brother, you got to see the work in progress.
Yes.
Was there ever time where he came and kicked the bar and was like, nah, you're not there yet?
You know what? The crazy thing is like the very, very first line in history I've ever heard him say. I will never forget it. Like, him and his friends, they had this crew called, middle school? They had this crew called RCD. Right?
What it stand for?
Rolling Crazy D.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know the Bronx, you growing up around that time, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody had these little crews, TTF or TTK, you know how that goes. So they had a crew called Rolling Crazy D, right? So we used to play red light, green light, 1, 2, 3, right? In the front of the building as kids, you know what I'm saying? So while we was playing red light, green light, 1, 2, 3, like somebody started bebopping. I don't know. I think it was one of my friends named Jamel. He was bebopping. Fred was like, red light, green light, 1, 2, 3. Is Big Freddie Fred down with RCD. I'm like, yo. I was like, yo, where'd that come from? He was like, yo, bro, I'm rapping, man. I was like, yo, that's crazy. And he just did that off the head. And then the next encounter, we was in church. And he had a partner named Virginia Slim. Now, this dude is the dude he started with. He had a partner, like on some Jada Styles joint. You know what I'm saying? And they started rapping. He used to like Biggie. He used to like Pac. So they used to battle and say Biggie's lines, and he used to say Pac's lines. And that's how they met in church. So the real flamboyant of this rap with Fred came from church, bro. They used to sneak out in the sanctuary, go downstairs and bar out.
Every good church in the hood got a dope basement where nobody be at, and you can go back. Yo, this is church in the Bronx, not too far from like Kingsbridge road. Like, my grandmother used to take me over there for some stuff. It's like not too far from Fordham Road. Okay. If you're going towards the Grand Concourse Village, heading that direction, it's like on the left side. I can't remember, but I just remember, this basement's live. I'm totally, this is where I'm hanging out.
That's funny,
girl you thought was cute. You just mosey on down there, like holler at them, and like, man.
That's crazy because it's like we had after service, we had to go to like little kid Bible studies, and sometimes they'll have like a little after church recreation. The adults, they meet with each other and talk, and we just be downstairs wilding. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be how it be.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? But
So,
it
so
was,
how does Fred break it to your moms that like, yo, I want to rap?
yo, he didn't even break it to her. He just started rhyming, bro. And she was like, oh yeah, okay. Okay, Fred, okay. I don't want to hear all that, other stuff, whatever. But when it really happened, was when it really got turned up, was when my father, Fred B, the famous Fred B of the tunnel, he was the head security of the tunnel.
Wow.
So he was escorting the Jay-Z's, the Flexes, the Nas's, all that. He had a whole team and everybody knew Fred B. So my pops used to come back from the tunnel with the straight DJ Ron G, double R, mixtapes, flex joints, SNS, and he used to have them in his box in a room. Fred used to go snatch them joints, listen all day. Like, Fred was like, yo, why he's coming with all this stuff, these famous people? My father was like, yo, it was with LL tonight, had the Polaroid picture, show us. Fred was just like inspired. Then he came home the next week, he had a Flip Squad jacket. They made only 50 of them, and Flex gave him that jacket.
That's dope.
And my brother took that joint, wore it to school. He seen the attention he was getting. Oh yeah, I'm doing this.
And this the drug. The attention is the drug, and we out of here from that point on.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man.
It is so dope, just to see like, the origin stories, which forges people to be great. You know what I mean? And like, you could just see that there was like, a God energy to what he did. And I guess, that's all the enrichment that he got being in the church. I know, like, some people repel and run away from it, but a lot of great things come out of there when you play your cards right. So this brings us to 2021. Fred The Godson has a new single called Ali. I saw a snippet of the visuals, very dopely put together. You've been doing a great job of,
Thanks,
championing
bro.
the cause and keeping everything rocking, man. And the time is kind of on point because damn, there's like some like this Ali's birthday was just the other day, so like the timing was impeccable. And then he's also like featured in this movie One Night in Miami, so like that's keeping Muhammad Ali's name back in everybody's mouth, man. So out of all the things, because I'm sure like Fred has a bunch of records in his stash that we haven't heard yet. What made you gravitate towards Ali and be like, yo, this is the one that the people need to hear?
It coexists with what the energy thing I was telling you about. You know what I'm saying? He had a plan, and I knew partially about the plan. Obviously, I speeded up in the loop as I was transitioning into doing this in his legacy, and the people he worked with, the producers he was rocking with, we knew about what he wanted to drop. And fortunately, out of all the music, I was just like, we got to do this one right. You know what I mean? Because when he first passed away, people were like, "Where's the music? Where's the music? Like, what's going to happen with Fred?" So what I did was I put together that Godson project that was a compilation of his music, where it was older music that people didn't pretty much hear. I put all the track listing together and structured the album like how he would. And all that stuff was 100% his, so it was faster to put out instead of getting clearance from features. That way, his family can eat a big chunk of that. And then I knew in the back of my mind, what other he had to release, I'll have more time to gear it up in conjunction with all the features I heard. So this one, the gravitation was the process of the energy that I was feeling towards all the other music that was out, leading up to what's new. And hearing this, it just felt like a theme joint. Like, yo, I'm coming. Arsonist on the drums, and what he's saying is just like it fits properly. Like, and him being a fan of Ali, he used to say as a kid, yo, if boxers had bars, B, Ali, nobody messing with them, B. Like, he used to, because, you know, Cassius Clay used to rhyme, man.
Yo,
like,
and you know, ahead of his time with it, and it always would be fly. Like, you know, like when you watch archival footage of him, like, talking smack at a press conference, like,
yo,
hip hop heads, we here for the bars.
Yeah,
We want
yeah,
the Ali bars, man.
yeah, exactly. So it's like that, and not only that, in conjunction to that, it was just like the timing was right, because I know around this time in Fred's career, typically the Black History Month time, he gets really in his bag, and then his birthday is next month. You know what I'm saying? And I said, if we can get something out with the project leading up to his birthday, we can have a project drop on his birthday where we're going to have a street name reveal on his birthday as well. So it's a lot of big stuff going on for the
Let's
God,
talk
man.
about that real quick, man. Like, to have the music out there is, as a time capsule is dope, but the streets is forever. So for those that don't know, where exactly are they putting the Fred the Godson, street sign up at?
They putting the street sign up in the building I just told you about, 941 area, Leggett Avenue, between Kelly Street. And if you know about that area, when you come out our building and you turn to the right, about 300 feet from the corner of the building you was raised, bro, that's where you want to stand. That's exactly where he's going to be, in the south side of the Bronx, in front of his building where he created this greatness. It is going to be Fred the Godson, Thomas Way. Yep.
And and I just only hope that the dopest things ever happen on that corner. A lot of times when they name something after one of us, it's usually like the place that you don't go after, sundown, but like, if Fred the Godson,
that wasn't one of the corners, man.
Like if this is a place where people come to like rap and cypher and keep it chill, get their art off and be creative, like, this needs to be a safe haven for creatives to really get together and get their thing. Yeah. And I don't want to see no gentrification, shut that down or move no things around. Like, there's a lot of people who have never been dubbed, or got the dubious honor of getting a street named after them. And for him to be able to get that off, man, that is just a testament to the impact overall too. And then also the work that you guys have done as a family, man. Like y'all are all part of the DNA, man. And none of this would have been possible without the things that y'all went through growing up, yo.
And that's crazy because, I just say to myself, bro, like, all the things we did on that corner, from playing football and hanging out, chin ups, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And that whole area where we walked across the streets of the school and everything, and supporting Fred since he started this journey of music and being the person that he was, it just solidifies his greatness, man. You never seen nothing like this. And the other day, I was talking to my wife and I was like, the work we put in made us push the envelope, especially with the Fred the Godson Foundation. We went out to the community, did things for the community as far as books, toy drive, food truck, shout out to my man, with the hip hop food truck with the Gordo burger on it and everything in the Bronx, man. You know what I'm saying? So we did a couple things. And once these councilmen and these people in the community knew what Fred was to the community, but then when they seen his name was pushing community, prosperity, and unity, man, that made them push the envelope and say, yo, we got to give these people, this respect for Fred. And what's so crazy about this? What? Fred always been a type of person to pay homage to the OGs and to pay homage to the Pacs, the Big L's, the Puns, the Biggies, you know what I'm saying? Every legendary person in hip hop. And in being from the Bronx, he got approved the same day Big Pun and Big L got approved.
Wow. I didn't even catch the fact that Big L and Pun got theirs off. That's dope.
Pun's is on the 8th of February.
Nice. That's the anniversary of his passing, right? Yeah, I remember where I was when I heard about. I was on my way to a WWE event, And yo, that just completely blew my mood. And the crazy thing, I was like on the street team for Loud at the time. And and we was just starting to get the promotional materials to promote Yeah Baby. So we was just ready to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
That one hurt and it hit different, but it made us go that much harder in the streets for him with the campaign. Man, I had them stickers up everywhere. The ones we jumping up in the air like
fire
joints.
Yeah, we was going crazy. I seen them. I seen a lot of Loud stickers in the streets. You know, being in the streets with Fred Bird, man. That's crazy.
I wanted my street team to get locked up. We was going in. You know what I'm saying? Like we was going all the way in. But you know,
was it a time where everybody tried to compete in that time? You know, whose street team is better? I remember Bad Boy had the crown at the time. You know what I'm saying? And all these other labels came with the street team, but Loud wasn't that bad neither, bro.
Yo, and you know, the crazy thing is, like, if you rewind the clock and slide time over, I feel like Fred the Godson would have been on Loud.
Yo, ain't that crazy, bro? Because one of his top best friends and artists, shout out to Axel Leon, man. He was with Loud for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we all from the Bronx, man. We spitters and bars, and you know, this hip hop thing is just embedded in us, bro. You know that, man. It's like no matter where we go, you know, no matter what we do, it's just always in us. You're gonna take it with you. You know, right now I'm in VA. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I went to school in Florida and stuff like that and been other places. That goes with me everywhere, bro. It ain't gonna change.
You can spot the New Yorker in every city, no matter where you go. And the other New Yorker's gonna find the other New Yorker, and we're gonna go to have a powwow, right? Like always. And Bronx be different too. Like it's one thing to be from New York, but then when you're from the Bronx, and then like, you know, and every now and then, like, because when you was mentioning like some of your haunts, like I used to go to Christ the King off the Grand Concourse. Wow. And I used to live in Concourse Village for a little bit. I lived in the 800 building.
Dope.
But I grew up in Tracy Towers.
Oh, okay. Mashula Parkway and
Marshall Parkway, yo, man.
Yeah, bro.
And Clinton. Like anytime I run into anybody who lived in any of those areas, because it's just so rare and random. Oh, we just get super hyped. It's almost like that whole Brooklyn in the house, and there's always someone from Brooklyn in the house. But like, when Bronx get together, it hit different. So to keep the legacy alive, man, I know we got the music, and be sure you stream the single Ali, which is going to be available when?
January 29th. That's when we're looking around that date. You know what I mean? There's a couple logistics that I got to make sure to guarantee it, but it'll be around that time, you know?
Cool. Yep. So, like, you know, be sure you check all the streaming platforms for that. And also to keep the good works that you guys got going on with the Fred the Godson Foundation. How can people, you know, donate to that and keep that alive as well?
Well, you can go to Facebook, Fred the Godson Foundation, everything correct spelling. You can hit the donate button. It'll lead you right to the link to make a donation to our website. Also on Instagram, Fred the Godson Foundation. You can hit the donate link button, and it'll lead you right directly to where to make a donation. And there's always other ways to make donations. Just if you link with me or his wife, Leanne, and our financial officer, Quincy, on Instagram, and you'll see areas where you can direct you to make donations. However you need to, whatever comfortable, you know, just link with me and his wife and the foundation page, send us a message in our DMs or send us an email. It's up there in our bio, and take it from there.
That's what's up. Is there still Fred the Godson merch being produced? You know,
we
got to put these kids through school, you know?
Yeah, we in the process of doing that. We try to get things straight with the intangibles and line things up. But, you know, around this time, because of shipment and stuff like that, we want to make sure that it's right. And we're gearing up. We have multiple artists sending us samples and stuff like that. So we're gonna do something, man. You know, this legacy is gonna be different, you know, because I know like what I'm getting into and what I'm gearing into and trying to set up, because Fred had a lot of different avenues, man. Word, he talked to a lot of different people, and it's like people coming out the woodworks like, yo, I was working on this. I was like, yo, Dad, bro, again. You know
once again, man, like, you know, the impact of the energy he put out, man, and even in his absence, people are returning it, man. And that speaks volumes to a person's character, man. And yo, utilize me. You know, I'm a soldier in y'all struggle. You know what I'm saying? I respect, appreciate, and love everything you guys are doing. Let's continue to do it. Like we're from the black sheep borough. You know what I'm saying? Because even in my absence, man, like like I still like like will pull up on Christ the King and like I'll put a kid through there for like the year every now and then, just because that school changed my life. I only went for 1 year, but it changed my life.
You know what's crazy? Because I will never forget my high school ever, man. Like I went to Gompers, bro. You know what I'm saying? I went to Gompers right there in that area, man. And it's like, the Christ the Kings, the Columbuses, all like I remember those schools, like, and the people from them schools, and it's like it was a different type of time, obviously, and then the energy was just different. It's like, right now we've got more technology and shifting people's moods here and there, but back then, unforgettable, bro.
I wouldn't trade the era I grew up in for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Man. For nothing, man.
We still know how to start fire, like bare hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, we from a different corner of the world, man. So that's what's up. Well, Russ, man, peace, love, and energy, man. Much love to the whole family. And I can't wait for people to hear the full version of this Ali record and whatever else comes down the pipeline, man. Fred the Godson impacted many, and he will continue to do that through the works that you guys are doing to keep the memory alive, man.
Yo, thanks, Headkrack, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to Dish Nation. Shout out to the Morning Hustle. Word up.
No doubt. Thank you, Russ. Peace.